It's the Texas weather discussion video. This is for Monday, the 3rd of May. I'm Donovan Neal. Everyone's talking about the severe weather threat that's going to be occurring later this evening into the overnight hours tonight. So hopefully I'll be able to answer some questions here this afternoon. So here's our upper air look across the nation this morning. You can see we have a upper level trough in the Four Corner region that's going to be adding dynamic support for some strong to very severe storms later this afternoon. Here's a visible satellite view. You can see morning clouds are starting to thin out across most of the state, and obviously that's not a good sign when we're looking at a severe weather threat. That sun is going to add more instability and energy into that atmosphere, so we'll see how this plays out. Temperatures as of noon already mostly in the low to mid 50s across, low to mid 80s across the metroplex, and we could see that climb to a few degrees. Some spots could actually hit 90. In fact, we're actually supposed to be in the 80s around this time of the year. Watch warning map. We have a tornado watch in effect for parts of eastern Alabama and to parts of north central Georgia. Go up to the northwest where we have a flash for winter weather warnings in effect for parts of central Colorado and parts of Wyoming. But down here will remain quiet, but that's going to change this afternoon and evening. We have a broad risk of severe storms all the way from New Mexico down into central Texas, all the way up to the Midwest and parts of the mid-Atlantic states. But down here, how about enhanced risk of severe storms, which is a level 3 out of 5 for parts from all of Dallas-Fort Worth, including places like Dallas-Fort Worth, Arlington, Mansfield, Rockwall, Denton, Quinlan, Paris, Gainesville, and Greenville. And then outside of that, we have a level 2 out of 5 risk of severe storms, includes places like Waco, Corsicana, Abilene, Eastland, Ranger, Cisco, Wichita Falls, Lubbock, and Childress. And of course, we have the marginal risk as well. But let's take a look at the probabilities. Here's the tornado threat, and this is the chance of seeing tornadoes within 25 miles of a given point in that zone. And you can see the highest area is in just to the north of Dallas-Fort Worth. Does include places like Denton and Gainesville and parts of southeastern Oklahoma. That 10% area is obviously the warrant for the enhanced risk, and of course that hatched area within that 10% area means that we could see 1 or 2 strong violent tornadoes within that zone. But everywhere else we have a chance of seeing a few tornadoes. And this is the wind threat. You can see the threat for winds is very, very strong across the board this afternoon and evening. Of course, there's chances of everyone seeing significant wind gusts of 75 miles per hour or greater. And lastly, this is the hail threat. We're very famous for having hail threats if you're not native to the Metroplex, but this is basically suggesting that there is a 30% chance of seeing hailstones greater than the size of baseballs, greater than the size of golf balls within 25 miles of a given point in the Metroplex. So we'll talk more about the details and the specific timing of things later in this video. Tomorrow, that activity shifts off to the deep south where we have that enhanced risk for Mississippi, Alabama, and some of those adjacent states. And on day 3, which is Wednesday, a marginal risk for parts of the mid-Atlantic states. Most of Texas remains dry. Rain for the next 7 days. You can see most of the Mississippi River Valley wet. But down here, we remain under a 1/4 of an inch for the most part for much of north central Texas, despite what we might see this afternoon and evening. So let's take a look at the modeling here. This is the GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid this afternoon at 4 o'clock local time. This is a look at 500 millibars. You can see we have that trough like I was talking about at the beginning, near the Four Corners region, and down here that is a very moist, unstable look for us. So let's just jump right into the action. This is the high-resolution rapid refresh model at 8 o'clock this evening. You can see we have isolated supercells that are very capable of producing some large hail and a few tornadoes right on top of the Metroplex in much of the heart of north central Texas into south central Oklahoma as well. So let's analyze the environment that they're in. Here are the instability values, and you can see we have very high instability values with CAPE anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 joules per kilogram, which is the highest numbers we've seen so far this year. Now keep in mind that these are numbers that you typically see around this time of the year, typically see in the summertime, so that's why it feels like a summer day here in North Texas. So that's why we have these high CAPE values. And here's the storm relative helicity of 0 to 1,000 kilometers. 0 to 1 kilometer, I'm sorry. And you can see we have decently sufficient instability values for a few rotating updrafts, which would indicate the possibility of a few tornadoes. And indeed, here's the STP, the significant tornado parameter, showing anywhere from around a 3 to a 5 units across the Metroplex and parts of north central Texas. And of course, that would mean the potential for one or two strong, violent, long track tornadoes. So I'm going to go back to this map here just to give you understanding of the timing here. So I expect storm initiation somewhere out in west central Texas, just to the west of the Metroplex, anywhere from 3 p.m. And then the threat of severe storms will continue for that window from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. today. And then to the east of Hunt County, I expect that threat to begin there from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. Tuesday morning. And of course, for our neck of the woods, we're talking about the potential for very large hail up to the size of baseballs or bigger. That's the first threat. The second threat will be the possibility of a few tornadoes, and based on the environment that we're in, we could see 1 or 2 strong, violent, long track tornadoes. That wouldn't surprise me there, and several damaging wind reports for those that see storms. Now, understand that not everyone will see severe weather today, but those that do will have the potential to see some pretty significant severe weather. So make sure that you're prepared. Make sure you have a way to receive warnings this afternoon and evening and into tonight, and make sure everyone in your family, all your friends know about this impending threat. All right, so let's take a look at tomorrow. This is tomorrow. That activity shifts off to the east near in the deep south. We're dry mostly statewide. Highs mostly in the low 70s at that point. And then Wednesday should be a very bright and sunny day statewide. Highs in the upper 70s around the Metroplex. Thursday, again, dry day statewide. Sunny. Highs in the low 80s and lows in the mid to upper 70s. And pretty much the same deal on Friday. And here's Saturday again, watching that low near the Texas-Oklahoma panhandle. Might bring some clouds here. Highs in the mid 80s. And then same thing on Sunday, highs in the upper 80s with overnight lows in the low 70s. Here's a week from today, Monday the 10th of May. You can see we have trough in the Great Lakes, and that's our next chance of at least some isolated showers and thunderstorms again here in the Metroplex with highs in the mid to upper 80s. Let's go out 10 days. This is the 13th of May, Thursday. You can see we have heights are starting to increase, and we have some showers and storms just to the north of here, but down here we're dry. Let's take a look at the rain coming off the European ensemble. You can see the mean showing just below 4 inches for much of the region through the 18th of May, and then numbers coming off the national blend of models. You can see we're gradually warming up to the 9th of May, where we could see our next 90-degree day, so mostly in the 80s across the board. And finally, here's the CPC outlook for May 10th through the 16th, and this shows temperatures could be slightly above average for this time of the year. That's it for the Texas weather discussion video for today. More notes in the blog. Next video here will be posted sometime tomorrow. If you can, catch your local TV stations on the air at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Stay weather aware, and Godspeed.